Mike, did those cats have water?
Down in Louisiana, where the tall, tall pine trees grow, there live a preacher daughter and she knows how to jelly roll. And a papa wanna save my soul, but a sweet talking daughter, Lord, she loves to jelly roll. Yes, she do. Got a gal in old St. Louis, one in San Antonio. Come and get it while you can, for tomorrow I'll be gone. And my good gal sitting alone, she hollered her back, Daddy, Daddy, will you come in home? Won't you come on home? When my gals in Mississippi get along and they talk, hell, they can recommend just like a cannonball. But hell, I love to watch them fall. Oh, the Mississippi woman, Lord, if they don't beat off. Oh, now, yes, they do. Well, I've been looking out my window as far as I can see. I'm looking for the rounders and they're looking out for me. Oh, but why won't they let me be? I'm a high-stepping papa from way down in Tennessee. Yes, I am. Why don't they let me be? Well, she likes to say we shouldn't, but you know we always will. The hollers catch me if you can, runs up over the hills. Well, that's how she gets her thrill, saying that we shouldn't, but she knows we always will. Yeah, she always says we shouldn't, saying that we shouldn't, but she always will.
So I called my two trusty friends, Luke and Terrell, to help me get the shop driveway poured. It measures out to be just shy of 9 yards, but I ordered 10 to be safe. Between the three of us, a 10-yard pour really isn't that big of a deal, but we're all about half worn out, so I figured the three of us together should be able to get it done. Terrell has more experience with concrete than Luke and I, but we've all spent our fair share of time around different construction job sites. Luke brought his son Alex, and Rhett stayed home from school because his cousins are showing up from Arizona a little bit later today. So having Rhett and Alex to help as well definitely wasn't going to hurt anything. Now I'm about finished up using the zip system and specifically using the zip tape. And I'll say it again, but I believe this stuff is the future. The windows went in without any issues. They're properly sealed, they're weather tight, and again using the zip stretch tape made it all very easy. The hardest part about installing the zip tape is using my old aluminum ladder that's got more miles on it than my truck does, and I fear at any moment may literally let me down. So I decided to go out and buy a new 24-foot extension ladder. Even going up and down the ladder, it really didn't take that long getting all of the zip tape installed. Once it was installed, I went back and used the zip roller on it to make sure that it would properly adhere to the zip paneling. It's quite obvious that the days are getting shorter. I find myself working until the sun goes down on a regular basis. But like I said, we're getting to the tail end of the zip paneling. The next step will be to get the roof on. As we speak, the materials needed for the roofing is being shipped out, and if all goes well by the end of next week, the roof will be watertight. Now, I briefly talked about these windows once before, but there's really nothing special about them other than they are dual pane windows, and we tried to install as many windows as we could to let as much natural light in. Now, one of the things that's coming up is some major changes to our solar system, and I'm not going to tell you a whole lot more about it until it happens. But what I will tell you is we're moving everything from the house out here to the shop. That was part of the reason why I ran the 1.25 inch conduit a couple of months back. But having the entire solar system out here in the shop will free up a little bit more space in the house, and you will soon see why we're doing it out here. About halfway through the morning, as we were pouring concrete, Cedar's older sister and her boyfriend and part of her family showed up from Arizona. They were on their way up to see some of the sights a few hours north of us, and they spent a good part of the day here with us. And we always enjoy seeing family from Arizona. Okay, the pour went really well. No real challenges, unexpected challenges anyway. Measured out to be 8.5 yards of concrete. I ordered 10 to be safe. We had a little bit of extra concrete, obviously. It went well. I had a lot of help from my two good friends, Luke and Terrell. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to strip these forms tonight or wait until tomorrow like I know I should. But I just want to see how it looks without those forms on it. So I might really carefully strip these forms tonight. But anyway, next step is to decide how I'm going to build the covered area for the firewood. I'm leaning towards doing the supports at least out of steel and then setting 2x10s or 2x12s on top of that. Simply because it'll be fast and easy to do it that way, and I don't have to go off into the woods to find a big piece of Doug fir to cut up into a beam. But anyway, I'm going to pull these forms off right now, I think. The house that I grew up in was not a very big house, although my parents raised 7 kids in that house. The house had about a 15-foot wide driveway in the front, and my brothers, my dad, and myself spent many hours on that driveway playing basketball. For a good portion of my father's life, his ambitions revolved around basketball. Really, all he ever wanted to be was a basketball coach. After graduating from college and getting his teaching certificate, he went back and taught at the high school that he graduated from. That same high school, almost our entire family graduated from. You guys grab that side? Okay, grab this and set it over here. Grab that side. When he was first starting his career out, I think he had ambitions of being the head varsity basketball coach. But for many years, he was the JV coach.
time I see the sun, a rooster crows for day. And every time I see that gal, she always looks away. Hell, she always looks away. Hold on, baby, just hold on. I'll be coming home, back where I belong. Hold on, baby, baby, just hold on. Sunday morning meeting time, I hear them church bells ring. Y'all seen them late last night, go out and shake that thing. They went out and shake that thing. Oh, hold on, baby, just hold on. I'll be coming home, back where I belong. Yeah, baby. Hold on, baby. Baby, just hold on. Well, in the shade, I waste my days. Out I go to town. Well, I'm up still at the good time gals, always going down. Yeah, they're always going down. Hold on, baby, just hold on. I'll be coming home, yeah, back where I belong. Baby, won't you hold on one more time, baby? Yep, I'm getting right into the moonlight, twinkling in her eye. Little gas ain't got me yet. Lord, she loves to try. Oh, Lord, she does try. Hold on, baby, just hold on. I'll be coming home, baby, back where I belong with you, baby. Hold on, baby, just hold on. Won't you hold on? I said, baby, just hold on.
As a matter of fact, I'm named after his coach that he had in high school. The point I'm getting at is basketball is in my blood whether I like it or not. It was the ultimate equalizer in my family. Many a fight between my brothers started in a game of basketball. I can remember one time my dad shooting free throws out in front of our old house, and we counted along to see how many he could shoot in a row before he missed. If I recall correctly, he got to about 75 before we all just got tired and went inside. My dad was very disciplined with his basketball. He played basketball 3 days a week, right up until he retired from teaching. Even after he retired, he would have all the family and the grandkids over to the house, and he would set up a day of different games, whether it was 21 or longs and shorts. And basketball was something that we all did and loved, but it also kept our family very close together. Now let me just point out that while I'm working on the old Harley, the burn barrel in the background is filled up with scraps of zip paneling. This is not something I want to burn in the fireplace. It has glues in it that I really don't want to put inside of our stove, and I'm trying to clean things up a little bit. So I put some of the wood scraps in the burn barrel. Now, shortly after getting the old 1948 Harley 125, I found the rear wheel for it online. It showed up a few days ago. I got it installed. I ran the motorcycle down to the car wash, pressure washed as much of the mold off the old motorcycle that I could, and I think that's about as much as I'm going to do to it for a while. I wanted to make sure that if the plan was to hang it over the pool table, that it wouldn't get the pool table dirty. It's a really neat old motorcycle, and I do believe at some point I'll get it running, but not for a while. I need to find an original Firestone gum-dipped front tire, get that front brake broke loose so the front wheel will spin, and then we're good to go. I've had the front door sitting here for a couple of days waiting for me to get it installed. It would be nice to have the doors installed in the shop so when the time comes, we can keep the place warm. As I'm slowly getting the things checked off the list for the shop, I've got a few important things on the horizon. While there isn't a whole lot of electrical above and beyond outlets and lights, I've got to get the electrical work done. I've got to get the walls insulated. I need to get the bathroom walls framed up. And I also need to get the utility room framed up where the solar system will be installed. And then I think once those things are done, I'm going to start hanging drywall. As much as I hate drywall, I think it's the right thing to do out here. The price of drywall has not gone up anywhere near as much as lumber has, so I'm leaning that way. This time next week, the insulation should be done. The back door should be installed. And if all goes well, a good portion of the electrical work will be done also.